Writers, today we're going to develop dialogue. Let's think of some things that you've said or that people have said to you since you woke up this morning. When people speak, it's dialogue. They may yell, cry, shout, whisper. Writers make characters in their stories speak in many ways, just as people in real life do. Think, which of these things might your character in your story do when they talk? I have added book 1 of my series, Tom and the Treehouse. So I'd like to share it with you, and then I'd also like to talk through some dialogue that I've added. Tom had just moved to the country. Tom wanted to go exploring. "I'm going outside to explore," Tom said to his parents. He ran out to the woods by his new house. I wish I could have a tree house, Tom thought. Sometimes Tom was lonely. He wanted a place to play. He looked around the woods and then headed home. When he reached his home, he ran up to his dad and whispered, "Hey, Dad, can you help me build a tree house?" His dad said, "Sure." "Let's go to the lumber store tomorrow morning and pick up some supplies." Tom hugged his dad and said, "Thanks, Dad." To show dialogue, writers add sentences under the picture to show the character saying something. So on this page right here, Tom has a speech bubble. "Hey, Dad, can you help me?" So to show dialogue in your sentence, you're going to add your speech bubble in your sentence. So I have, he ran up to Dad and whispered, "Hey, Dad, can you help me build a tree house?" Putting your speech bubbles in your writing adds more dialogue. Writers also have conversations. The characters talk to one another. So I also did that in this page where Dad and Tom are talking back and forth. So Tom whispers to Dad, "Hey, can you help me build a tree house?" And Dad says, "Sure. Let's go to the lumber store tomorrow morning and pick up supplies." So that's where I'm showing the two characters having conversation. Another way to add dialogue to your story. Writers describe how characters sound. So I did that on this page when I said Tom whispered. So he's going to be a quiet voice. Tom whispered. Writers add she said, she thought, or he said, he thought, depending on if your character is a boy or a girl, in their writing. So on the first page, Tom wanted to go explore. "I'm going outside to explore," Tom said to his parents. So that's Tom saying something. And then on the next page, he ran out to the woods by his new house. "I wish I could have a tree house," Tom thought. So I put what Tom's saying things in the story and Tom's thinking things in the story. Writers show body and movement is the last thing that you can do to add dialogue. So the last page, when I put in Tom hugged his dad and said, "Thanks, Dad." So I'm putting movement in there. I didn't just say Tom said, "Thanks, Dad." Tom is showing movement. Remember the book, The Night of the Veggie Monsters? Do you guys remember this book? Remember the author, George McClements, telling exact actions? He curled up his toes. He wiggled his fingers. Let's make our characters say some things and do some things. Let's fill up our pages with action and dialogue. Today, I want you to try and add action and dialogue in your story. I wanted to jump back on and show you how to use a slip of paper to add instead of erasing or taking your page away. So I found a spot on my writing that I could add more. So I want to show you how I do that. So Tom had just moved to the country. Tom wanted to go explore. "I'm going outside to explore," Tom said to his parents. So I could add more there. I could add some dialogue there. So I could have Mom asking him a question. So I took a piece of paper, I cut off the top because I didn't need the whole sheet, and I'm going to place this at the bottom of my writing. So it would, when I read this, Tom had just moved to the country. Tom wanted to go explore. I'm going outside to explore, Tom said to his parents. Did you finish your chores? His mom asked. I sure did. And I could even say, said Tom. So that's what I mean by adding flaps. If there's something you need to add, and it's not just one word where you're going to put a caret and write it above, cut out a flap and put it anywhere. If it was in the middle of your story, you would put it here. So if I was to read this, I would read here, continue on, flip it up, and keep reading. Or if I didn't want this anymore and I just want to put a flap over the top of it, and then I would just read this and move on to the next page. So that's how we fix our writing. I don't ever want you to feel like you need to throw your page out or start over or erase. That's why we, as writers, we're going to make mistakes. So we can fix those mistakes by putting a piece of paper and more writing on top, or by putting it in between. So I just wanted to share that with you because it's been a while since we've talked about how to add parts and pieces. And I really don't want you to get frustrated and to throw things out or start over. So when I'm asking you to add to your stories, if it's a story you wrote at the beginning, you can still add to it. You're just going to get one of these little pieces of paper or a regular sheet of paper, make it into a little piece of paper as much as you need, and add to your story. So again, mine is going to go down here, and that is what my story would look like. And I, again, might say, Tom said, to make it better. Okay? I can't wait to hear what dialogue and action you add to your story today. Have fun!